YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's Chu here from Choose to Explore, where we teach you guys how to see the world and save $1. So we're just leaving Calgary right now. We had an amazing day trip, but we got the rental car and we're heading to Banff National Park. Now, Banff National Park is someplace that we've always wanted to visit because the picturesque views, the mountains, the blue lakes, and the wildlife. So we're so excited to check it out, so stay tuned, let's head out. Alright, so we just checked into the Stony Nakota Resort. It's actually a casino as well, but it's a really cool place. We're in Kananaskis, and this resort is really interesting because there's horses on the property and it has beautiful mountain views. Our room is pretty nice. It's a pretty big room. We have like a lounge area and a king-size bed, a bathtub, bathroom. So I think it's pretty nice here. So we're gonna call it a night here and just chill out for the rest of the night. Today's really cool as well because the sun sets around 9:30 today. So it's currently like 9 o'clock right now and the sun is still super bright here. Like, see my head out here? But yeah, calling it a night. Alright, so I know we said we were calling it a night, but the person in the hotel lobby said we should drive to Kananaskis Village and do a hike. He says it's only 10 minutes, but it's crazy. It's like 9 o'clock right now and the sun is still out. But we're gonna just walk around a little bit, but it's getting close to sunset and we don't want to get into any problems with any bears and there's no people out here, so we'll call it quick. We'll just walk around and see what's up. Good morning, good morning. We are here bright and early in Kananaskis and heading to Banff National Park. If you can't tell already, the sun hasn't even risen yet, but we're trying to get there early to see if we can park and get some beautiful views of Lake Louise, so stay tuned, y'all. So we're starting breakfast here in Canada with the Breakfast of Champions here at world's famous Tim Hortons. So we each got a sandwich. We spent about 20 Canadian dollars, which is probably around like $15. So pretty good for breakfast. So we just got here at Lake Louise. It's 6:30 in the morning, and luckily because it's so early, there is a lot of parking, which is still great. The parking was about 21 Canadian dollars, which is like 15 US dollars, and it still is cold, right, Liv?
It's cold, yes. It's 6 a.m. It's like 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's the end of May.
Also, we had to pay for the Banff pass. We got the family pass, which was 21 Canadian dollars, which is another about $15. So all in, let's hope there's not too many people at the lake so we could catch some beautiful views. Sun is just peeking out now, so let's go.
Alright, so we just got to Lake Louise. It was about a 1-minute walk from the parking lot, and the views are incredible. Just check it out.
Woo! I'm not gonna lie, this is the most beautiful lake I have ever seen in my life. Like, it's just so beautiful.
It's like a huge mirror reflecting, and I don't even know. It's just gorgeous. It's so beautiful. Lots of trees, the mountains. You see the snow-capped mountain, and the lake reflects everything. It's so beautiful.
And the crazy part about this is less than a month ago, this whole thing was frozen. So like in the wintertime, you can get skates and you can skate on it. And that's another experience as well. And even in the summertime, this water is only 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's an ice bath. It's a cold plunge even in the summer. So I would not recommend jumping in. So This is the bluest, most turquoise water I've ever seen. The only place that kind of compares is when we were in Costa Rica, remember?
Yeah, in Rio Celeste, it was very, very blue, and we were swimming in that water. This water is definitely much colder.
But this is so beautiful. What sets this apart, though, is the mountains and the snow-capped glaciers behind. So definitely a beautiful sight. All right, so we walked around the whole loop of Lake Louise. It was about 2 kilometers. It took us about 45 minutes, but it's only 8 o'clock. And at the end here, we got into the split, and we got to decide, do we want to walk up and hike a little bit or just sit out here? What you think, Liv?
Let's see. Stay tuned.
So we came here at 6:30 in the morning, and the lake looked like a mirror. It was beautiful, and there was pretty much nobody here. But now we're leaving at 10 o'clock, and there are so many people. But the other caveat is that the lake right now is super bright and vibrant. It's a beautiful turquoise right now. So I think if you want to see the best of both worlds, come early and just stay till a little bit in the afternoon. Unfortunately, though, we wanted to do canoeing, but it looks like it opens next week. So unfortunately, we can't canoe right now in the lake, but we still had a beautiful time here at Lake Louise.
All right, so we just got to Emerald Lake, and it was about 40-minute drive from Lake Louise, and it's a little bit less crowded here, but there's a really, really beautiful lake here, so let's check it out.
The ride over was beautiful. It was so scenic. We saw a lot more glacier-capped mountains, so we're excited for this in Emerald Lake. All right, so we were super excited when we got here at Emerald Lake because we saw people on the canoes. And if you guys were paying attention, at Lake Louise, the canoes were not open right now. Also, here it's a lot cheaper. It's 90 Canadian dollars for the hour, and it can fit up to 3 people. So versus at Lake Louise, it was 155 Canadian per hour. So see the world, save $1. We got the experience for a lot less, and this is so beautiful. The water is crystal clear, but it has that beautiful hue of emerald, and I mean, hence why we're at Emerald Lake.
All right, so this is such a nice, really peaceful, tranquil experience right here on Lake Emerald. It's
Peaceful for you.
It's so beautiful. Like, you're just in the middle of the mountains and the trees, and then you're just looking out at this really beautiful water. It's really a great time. All right, so I thought this was my first time on a canoe, but really this reminds me of being on the outrigger boat in Bora Bora, so very similar.
The only difference is we don't have the guy behind us saying, hey!
Yeah. So we're on our own this time, but this is beautiful.
All right, so we were heading from Emerald Lake back to Banff, but we saw something called Natural Bridge here. So we parked up and let's check it out. Next spot of the day is Johnston Canyon. We just pulled up. It's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so that means that there are a lot of people here. The parking lot was pretty full, so let's head to these falls at Johnston Canyon. All right, so we just got here at the Lower Johnston Falls. It took us about 20 minutes. The path is really well paved, and it was pretty easy. Liv was a little nervous. Why?
Because we went over some like slight bridges, but it wasn't actually scary.
So we're here, we're waiting in line for something. I don't know, there's people here waiting, so we're gonna wait because usually when people are waiting for something, it's something good. The water is a beautiful tint of like teal, so we'll just enjoy the views while we wait. And this is what we're waiting for. Woo!
Alright, so we just got back from the lower falls and it was cool. So we waited in line to go through a cave to get a more up close and personal look at it, and pretty much we just get misted, and it really reminded us of when we were just in Toronto at Niagara Falls on the Hornblower.
But from there you can also go to the Upper Falls, which is supposed to be like 1.3 kilometers or like another hour away. But
another 30 minutes away.
Yeah, 30 minutes there, 30 minutes back to the lower falls, and then 30 minutes back to the parking lot, which is another hour and a half.
Yeah.
We haven't ate since this morning when we were at Lake Louise, so we made a business decision just to turn around and let's go to the parking lot.
Let's go eat.
Alright, so we just pulled up to Banff, the town, and we're in the downtown area. It's a lot going on. It's like a city center. We walked about 7 minutes from the free parking. And what do you think about it, Liv?
It gives me Disney vibes for some reason. I don't know. Take a look around.
Yeah, it's like it's really cool. There's a lot of shops, a lot of restaurants, and a lot of different things here. So let's check it out. Alright, so we're in downtown Banff and we stopped at Saffron Indian Bistro. We had a craving for Indian food. Looks pretty good, it was highly recommended. We got the chicken tikka masala with white rice and garlic naan.
Yes.
So, let's eat and dig in. So right in the city center, it's really cool because there's not a lot of cars. There's actually a street that's blocked off just for pedestrians, and the only thing that can come down here are the Roam buses. And the Roam buses you can actually take from Banff town all the way to Lake Louise and Banff National Park. So you can do that, and it's really convenient as well. And when we say everything is cabin style, even the McDonald's is cabin style, so you know that it's unique.
So right from the downtown area, we walked a couple blocks to the Central Park, and it's really beautiful. There's so many trees, of course, lots of people having picnics, people bike riding, lots of families, lots of dates. It's a really cool place to hang out.
They have a really cool gondola here as well, and we just are walking across the beautiful bridge that they have here. And what I really love about the bridge is on the other side is more green space, but the water underneath the bridge is also a beautiful bluish, turquoise, tealish color. So really good views here as well.
Lots of mountain views too, so check it out.
The next spot we stopped at is the Cascade of the Time Garden. And I don't know why I thought a cascade was a waterfall. Well, I mean, it is a waterfall, but they're like itty bitty waterfalls here, but it's beautiful. There's a lot of greenery. They have these like bridges, footbridges that look like they got pimples on them, but they're really nice. But it's beautiful here just to chill. I mean, it's free, so you should definitely come check it out.
Really peaceful.
Alright, so we were walking by and we saw this really cool restaurant downtown called Street Tavern, and we picked it because they had a special for 50% off pizzas today on Monday. So Liv got a margarita pizza, you know that's what Liv eats, but I got the Big Bird, which is basil marinated chicken, bacon, spinach, red onions, spinach basil pesto, goat cheese, and mozzarella. So let's dig in. After a really long day here, we decided to finish the day off at the Banff Upper Hot Springs. So let's head in, Liv. So I know we said we were going to head into Banff Upper Hot Springs, but unfortunately we were just kidding.
I have my swimsuit already.
Like when we came up here, you can look down and see how many people are in the hot spring, and it was just way too many people, and especially kids. That's just not the vibe that we want right now. But it has amazing views of the mountains there, so I wouldn't say cross it off, but just be cognizant of
Probably
it.
just come early, like when they open. We came really late in the day, so.
And there's a lot of people in Banff right now, so I guess that plays a major role in it as well.
All right, so we just left the very crowded Banff Upper Hot Springs to come back to our hotel, and to our surprise, there's nobody here.
Literally nobody here.
We have a whole pool slide, a jacuzzi.
The whole pool, and it's all to ourselves. So we're just gonna chill out here for the night, enjoy it. You know, Liv had to come to the hot tub. So let's enjoy it and call it a night tonight. Good morning, good morning. It's day 3 here in Banff, and we were woken up by a beautiful sunrise. It rises at like 5:30 here in the morning. So we're gonna get our day started. We got up a little later than we typically do, around 9 o'clock. So let's get this day on the road. So we're starting our day out with the Canadian Breakfast of Champions right here at Tim Hortons, right up the street from where our hotel was. And I got the steak, egg, and cheese breakfast combo, and Liv got everything bagel combo, right?
Yes, everything bagel with cream cheese and a hash brown.
And
coffee.
Yep, and this was about $12 US. So. And we just pulled up to Lake Minnewanka. And this is a crazy name because it kind of reminds me, you remember that Dave Chappelle episode where he was Prince and he says, purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka? That's just what I think about when I'm here. But it's a beautiful, picturesque lake with beautiful glacial views. So let's check it out and let's walk around.
All right, so we just got to Lake Minnewanka, and it's actually the largest lake in Banff National Park. The color of the water is a bit darker blue, greenish than the other lakes that we've been to so far, but it's absolutely gorgeous. The water is glistening, the mountains are amazing, the trees are amazing. It's so much beautiful nature here, and it feels so peaceful to be here.
A lot of people tend to come here for the lake cruises. You can also rent a boat. You can do a kayak rental. We opted not to do that, but one thing that I did notice is that here the boat cruise is 75 Canadian dollars per person. But if you do it online, I was looking, and you can get it for like 51 Canadian dollars a person. So see the world save $1, it'll save you some money to do it online versus doing it up here at the ticket office. And it also gives you a reservation. So I think it's beautiful, and I definitely would check it out. We just, we're gonna pass on that today. So I don't know if you could hear it, but it's super windy right now. And one good thing about Lake Minnewanka is even though it's so big, there's not a lot of people here. This is the least amount of people we've seen here in Banff.
At any of the lakes.
At any of them. But let's go to the next spot. All right, so we just pulled up to Cave and Basin, which is Canada's first national park. It costs us about $8.50 Canadian dollars in order to enter per person. So let's check it out.
So our first stop is within the cave. So it's a really long, dark tunnel first that you enter through, and then it opens up into the cave, and there's lights that they put in, as well as a little opening at the top for natural sunlight to go down as well. And the first thing you notice is the smell of the sulfur. Very, very strong. Smells like rotten eggs.
This actually was discovered, quote unquote, in 1883 by 3 railway workers, but the indigenous have been here for generations. So it's cool to see it. And also the thing that's different about this, because we have been to other places that had caves with blue water like this, like in Mexico, in the cenote or Dominican Republic, but this is actually thermal springs. It's hot water.
Yes, and the indigenous people, they thought that these waters had curative properties, so they held a lot of religious ceremonies around here as well.
All right, so we just left the cave, and now we're in the basin, or what used to be a pool. I know it doesn't look like it, but this used to be a humongous pool that people used to come into from all over the world. It actually closed in what year?
I think 1992.
In 1992, and it never reopened, but Yeah, where we went yesterday, the Banff Upper Hot Spring, is where you can swim in the natural therapeutic water. So you can be sure to do that as well. So even though they don't have the main swimming pool anymore, they still have a basin. So you literally walk right up and you can see it. It's like an observation deck, more or less. Unfortunately, you can't swim in it, but it has a strong stench of sulfur. And people used to swim in it, but now the only things swimming in it are the snails and other microorganisms.
So you don't want to go in there.
But the thing that I love about this one is they have beautiful colors. So it has blues, greens, oranges, and it's just beautiful. I definitely recommend coming and looking at it. You can park downtown if you want, but literally a 5-minute walk from the downtown area is a parking lot that's free parking. So as long as you're able to, I highly recommend doing that to save some money. All right, so we just pulled up to the Vulcan right here in downtown Banff. It's actually right on Banff Avenue. And you know, Cedar World Save a Dollar, we came here because we saw a lunch special. So they have the pork gyros for 14 Canadian dollars, and it comes with the pork gyro as well as fries. Liv got the Greek street fries with garlic aioli, and it's fantastic. A lot of flavor here.
Very zesty. It's so good. It's very zesty sauce on it, and you dip it with the garlic mayo.
And also they have live music here on their Greek nights, which are Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So definitely come here for dinner as well. So we're just leaving the Vulcan and the food was so good. We were walking back to our car and we smelled something that smelled so good. I don't even know what it was, but it smelled so good. So
Sweet.
So we stopped to Cow's to get this ice cream. And
it's almost gone, sorry.
It is amazing. Just left our hotel to try to see the sunset. It's like 9:20 right now, and we're at Lac des Arches.
Yes, Lake of Arches.
Yeah, Lake of Arches, and it's a big lake, and it's only about a 10-minute drive from where our hotel is. So we'll sit here and watch the sunset. Good morning. It's our 4th and last day here in Banff, and we're gonna spend our morning in the casino because that's the way to do it.
Alright, so we just got done with the casino, which was an interesting time, and now we have a really early flight, so we're gonna head back to the airport to drop off our car rental. But on the way, we're on the lookout for any wildlife because I saw one bear. We didn't catch it on camera, so we're going to try to see if we can see any more wildlife on our last road trip out of here.
So we just got to the airport. We just dropped the rental car off at Routes Car Rental. I really liked them because they were really nice people. They gave us a great deal. It was really affordable. And the Jeep car rental that we had was really good on gas. Gas for the whole trip, for all the driving we did, was about $55 US here. So really good. So now we're at the airport and we're heading out. We had an amazing trip here in Banff, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you're here watching with us, and we truly appreciate it. So please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Calgary, we're out.